Hi there, and welcome back to Themes of the Week. I'm Maya Kruger, and I'm so glad that you're here with me today. I've been noticing a couple of big things popping up with a lot of different people, and they're really interconnected, as always. The first one is a term I've coined called getting a massage through a sleeping bag. So, the sleeping bag massage. I've had a few clients recently who have talked about feeling numb, detached, or just not really in their lives. And when we dig into it, we find this deep-seated fear of getting hurt. They've been through some painful stuff, maybe in childhood, maybe in a past relationship. And so they've developed this protective layer, this emotional sleeping bag. It's a brilliant strategy, really. The sleeping bag keeps us out of the cold, the sharp rocks, and the scary things. It does its job perfectly, so you won't feel the sting of rejection or the ache of disappointment or the pain of a breakup. But here's the thing about a sleeping bag. While it's great for protection, it's terrible for connection. So imagine you're trying to get a massage. You can't get a good one through a sleeping bag. You might feel the pressure, but you can't feel the warmth of the hands, the nuance of the touch, the full blissful release of the tension. You're protecting yourself from the bad, but you're also protecting yourself from the good. When we limit our emotional range to avoid pain, we also limit our capacity for joy and intimacy and love. The same membrane that blocks hurt feelings also blocks the feeling of being truly seen, the thrill of a new connection, and the deep satisfaction of success. We spend so much energy on this one job, protection, that we forget to live. We're safe, yes, but we're also lonely and disconnected, even when we're surrounded by people. So the question I've been asking myself, and I want you to consider, is what would it feel like to unzip the sleeping bag just a little, to risk feeling something, knowing that it might be uncomfortable, but it also might be beautiful? The second theme, the unseen audience. This leads me to the second thing I've been seeing a lot of, which is closely related. The constant performance for an unseen audience. Have you ever done something and immediately heard a voice in your head criticizing you, judging you, telling you you're not good enough, you suck? Maybe it's a parent or a former teacher or an ex-partner or a friend group from years ago. Like you're in your car, you're singing your heart out, and suddenly you feel this white hot wave of shame. Why? Because you unconsciously cast an audience in your mind and you're performing for them. They're the jury and they're always watching. I think we all have this audience. These are the people we've given power to, often unknowingly, and we spend so much time making choices based on what they would approve of, how they would react, or how they would judge us. We edit our lives for an audience that isn't even there, a jury we ourselves have appointed, and we seek their approval and dread their disapproval, even though they have no real say in our lives anymore, because they're not real. The question then becomes, who are these people? Why have we given them a front row seat to our lives? And what would it look like to tell them to go home and maybe get a life? Well, we do it because at some point their judgment was real. It was a matter of survival to seek their approval, either social survival, literal survival, emotional survival. Maybe they were the ones who kept us safe, or maybe we needed their love and validation so desperately that we were willing to do anything for it. But now, as adults, that survival tactic is holding us back. It keeps us stuck in the emotional sleeping bag, afraid to be our true selves, our imperfect, messy selves, because we're so terrified of what our internal jury will say. So when we start to recognize this audience, we can begin to disempower them. We can practice making choices for ourselves, for what we want, for what feels good and right in our own skin. It's a process of becoming our own judge, our own audience, and our own witness. So this week, I invite you to notice two things. First, where is your emotional sleeping bag zipped up tight? And second, who is sitting in the audience in your mind? Just notice. Awareness is always the first step. Thank you for joining me, and I'll be back soon with another Themes of the Week.